am an EFL teacher and I hold a BA in English language. I am finishing my master's degree in educational processes mediated by ICT. And I would like to introduce my masterpiece, my work of art. Yes, that is my Amazon ebook called Teaching the 4 Skills Through the Arts. First of all, I would like to thank Cuartas Jornadas Virtuales Iberoamericanas de Educación y Tecnología for this invitation. Okay, this is the ebook Teaching the 4 Skills Through the Arts. This is available on Amazon Kindle store. A little bit about myself. I live in the US. I hold a teaching degree. I am a certified EFL teacher, and I hold a BA in English language. As I told you before, I am finishing my master's degree about alternative assessment mediated by ICT. I have worked for many years at the Teacher Training College and as an EFL teacher for Plus Limited in Windsor, England. Currently, I work as a content developer and online tutor in the BA in ELT at Universidad Blas Pascal, and also as an online tutor for Preply in the US. I have a lot of experience at all levels of education and in company. I have been working as a teacher for 14 years, and I have delivered workshops and webinars at national and international conferences related to ELT, ICT, education, and innovation conferences. Okay, the reviews were written by Marilyn Goldberg. She is American. She works as a director of studies at University of California at Arts Center, and Dave Tucker is a British author for Macmillan Education. He writes methodology books for teachers, and he also is a teacher trainer. My editor is Rory Brown. He holds a BA in anthropology, and I represent Universidad Nacional de Córdoba. Let's go on a tour for you to know a little bit more about this interesting multimodal material that is called Teaching the 4 Skills Through the Arts. Okay, I'm going to show you the 4 macro skills that are used in a blended fashion together with subsidiary skills for you to see how the book is organized. For example, for this lesson that is listening about an ideal word, I have used Jules Solar's work of art, Bripa es Gente, together with John Lennon, Imagine, in order to convey this idea of an ideal world. And for doing so, students have to listen to Imagine and in a way imagine how they think an ideal world would be. They have to visualize it, and they have to draw their picture of an ideal world, and then they have access to Jules Solar's work of art and how he epitomized or how he could portray an ideal world. And the students learn about all the elements of the work of art, like colors, shades, shadows, the different elements represented, like the flags, for example. Yes, the serpent that represents wisdom. Yeah, For example, buildings, their shape represents a sense of community, like the World Wide Web. Yeah, so there are hidden meanings that students start to discover while they go through the different works of art. So this is very interesting because students learn not only about the work of art itself, but they also worked about culture, about topics that are important, yes, for life, yes, for the 21st century. Yes, there are 21st century skills, yes, important skills for the digital age. Well, this is more or less what a lesson looks like. You have all the activities developed from the warm-up, yes. You have graphic organizers, you have suggested answers, and then you have follow-up. Internal follow-ups include an activity that has ICT mediation and another activity without ICT mediation. The idea is that students and schools that have the opportunity to use ICT, yes, they can do so. For example, in the school laboratory, or they can also work at home at their own pace with the format of the flipped classroom or blended learning. Well, for example, this is Read by Gente, as I showed you before, yeah, and another good example of listening would be listening about a great artist, that is Vincent van Gogh, and students use this KWL chart in order to listen about him and fill out the chart, yes, what they know about him, what they would like to know about him, and what they have learned after the lesson about him. So they have to go through a listening task, in this case a video, in order to learn about Vincent van Gogh's life. Yes, this is a kind of biography. Just a little bit.
This is the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. People come to this museum from all over the world to admire the paintings of Vincent van Gogh. These days, Vincent is world famous, but when he was alive, hardly anyone knew his work. Do you want to know who he was? Take a journey back in time with us, and we'll tell you how Vincent became an artist. Vincent grew up in an exciting age, the age of the steam train. Vincent took the train to other countries. He didn't really know what he wanted to be, but fortunately, his brother Theo had a good idea. He wrote, "Vincent, you're good at drawing. Why not try something with that?" That was true.
All right, so students have to go through the biography in order to fill out the chart. And also, for example, they can create their own avatar using My Blue Robot. Yes, this is a free avatar platform that allows students to use their own physical features in order to describe themselves. So this is important to deal with topics such as self-esteem, physical appearance, yes, how students perceive themselves. So they can describe themselves first, yes, with the physical features that they consider that identify them, and then they can write down a paragraph describing themselves and read them aloud to their classmates. Yeah, because the idea is listening. Yes, they have to listen to each other. Then, for example, to deal with speaking, I have chosen Life and Death of the iconic Marilyn with Andy Warhol's pop art in order to show a little bit more about her life. And as you can see, all her physical features are a little bit exaggerated, and this has an intention. Yes, colors are very shocking. Yes, and it's in order to convey a certain meaning. Yes, and the feelings she was going through. throughout all her life. Yes, this is important to deal with topics such as depression, self-esteem, suicide, yeah, death, life. Yes, important topics that are good to talk about with our students in this way, using the others. You know, it's a good way to read them, to be able to ask them to talk about what hurts, yes, what's uncomfortable, and topics that are inherited to human beings, and that we can say these topics go beyond the boundaries of space and time. So this is an information gap, and one student has one part of the information and the other half. So the idea is that at the end of the exercise, both students should have the same information. And they can work with this application, yes, that uses pop art, so they can post their own picture in order to personalize the experience, yes, and in order to see themselves through pop art. As regards reading, I have used a lesson that deals with loneliness, with love, hate, revenge, faithfulness and unfaithfulness, using Edward Hooper's painting Room in Brooklyn, and together with Anne Carson's poem about the same work of art. This person is supposed to be Edward's lover. So in this way, the work of art goes beyond, yes, the artistic expression, and in a way it is connected to the author's life, real life. Yes, so students have access to the letters that Edward exchanged with his lover, and then in the end she decides to marry another man. So this idea of okay, students have to infer after reading the letters if it was a real relationship, if they loved each other, yeah. And Anne Carson, she wrote a poem using this technique. That is,
what is a person's knowledge and
this technique that is using single words or broken language, yes, in order to convey meaning, yeah. So for example, she uses single words in order to show a little bit the atmosphere of the work of art. Then, for example, for the writing task, I have used Pablo Picasso's Weeping Woman. Yes, this is Dora Mars, and this represents Cubism. And students have to infer why she is crying. Yes, what happened to her, so they have to answer a set of questions in order to get to know her feelings and emotions. Dora lost her son during the Spanish Civil War, so this is important because students learn not only about the work of art, but also about the context when the work of art was painted. Yeah, they learned about the author. Yes, there's always a section called background information where they learn about the authors, and also they learned about the context when the different works of art were painted. At the end of the book, there is an appendix section where you can find the worksheets. Yes, ready-made worksheets where students have to work with them. All the activities are already made. Okay, you have links. Yeah. And you have suggested answers as well. So It's very user-friendly. Also, you have the set of works of art included in the appendix section. Okay, why teaching the 4 skills through the arts? Because this is a practical guide for the enthusiastic EFL ELT professional who loves the arts and wants their students to experiment them through the 4 macro skills. All the topics are rated into 3 different levels of proficiency, from elementary to advanced level. They take into account students' learning styles and multiple intelligences. Lessons are user-friendly and include from multimedia interactive online resources to ready-made worksheets and the actual paintings in the appendix section, as I mentioned before. The tasks contain a key with suggested answers, and the 4 macro skills, listening, speaking, reading, and writing, are developed in a blended fashion. The topics dealt within the ebook, as I told you before, are inherent to human beings. They go beyond the boundaries of time and space. There are topics that are quite sensitive, so the ebook is mostly targeted for teenagers and adults. Because it deals with love, hate, self-esteem, status in life, faithfulness, unfaithfulness, true lies, life, death. Yeah. So it's important for students to learn about the different works of art and to develop the different macro skills in a holistic way. So, for example, an ideal world combines the work of art read by Gente together with the song Imagine in order to convey this idea of an ideal world. Then, for example, to deal with life stages, the book includes La Metamorfosis de Narciso by Salvador Dalí together with Dance by Paula Rego, in order to show how life changes according to the different stages in life and the different roles we perform in society. And then to deal with ideal love, the book deals with The Kiss by Gustav Klimt and Unfaithfulness, Weeping Woman by Pablo Picasso. Artist Lives, Starry Night by Van Gogh and Anne Sexton. Both of them refer to the same work of art. Yes, Van Gogh painted Starry Night and Anne Sexton wrote a poem about it. Both of them had mental problems and both of them committed suicide. So it's important to know about the context of the different works of art. Personification of artists' feelings through their works of art. Van Gogh and Frida Kalho, they use themselves as the main protagonists of their works of art in order to express their feelings and emotions. All the works of art invite students to inner reflection and introspection. So, as regards the contributions of the ebook, is innovation in ELT teaching and learning, the arts as input to explore the 4 macro skills, is an ICT mediated multimodal interactive resource. It means that it includes visuals, audio and multimedia resources in order to engage students in the experience, to personalize experience. And the target audience, as I told you before, are public schools, for example, with the Plan Ceibal in Uruguay, or private schools and institutes that have a good amount of English instruction in the curriculum, bilingual schools with the clear approach, content and language integrated learning, and teacher training colleges in the subjects of fine arts, literature, and methodology. As regards to conclusions, the ebook helps students have a voice to express themselves through the understanding of masterpieces, which will aid them enhance their performance in the target language. Students become protagonists of their own learning processes, and they build a dialogic relationship with the ebook by exploring their own feelings and emotions from a holistic point of view. You can get your copy of the ebook. Here I provide my email, that is vanefrascino@gmail.com, or alternatively you can access Amazon Kindle store, and there you can find the ebook. You can follow us on Facebook as well. Okay, this is a community of teaching and learning all together, sharing experiences with the ebook, also leaving reviews. Yeah? And it's important for us to support each other as ELT professionals. So this is our space to share our experiences with the ebook. Well, thank you very much. I leave here my social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and my email for you to contact me, to talk about the ebook, to share ideas, yeah, and your own experience using it. Again, I would like to thank Cuartas Jornadas Virtuales Iberoamericanas de Educación y Tecnología for this experience. And thank you very much for listening to me.